Hello and welcome to ASV. In today's video, I'm going to give you 8 tips to help you memorize your vocal music. Now, before you get started with the memorization process, I highly recommend that you take a deep dive into the study and meaning of the song. Ask yourself these questions. What is the song about? Why am I singing the song? To whom am I singing the song? What emotions do I feel while singing the song, and what do I hope the audience might feel? And what are my end goals for singing the song? Once you have answered those questions, you can start the memorization process. Now, I'll tell you the good news is that if you have spent time learning your notes and your rhythms and applying healthy vocal technique to your song, and you've answered all those questions I mentioned before, you should be well on your way in the memorization process. But here are 8 concrete tips to help you with memorizing your vocal music. Number 1, start the memorization process sooner rather than later. Don't put it off. Don't wait till a day or two before you have to perform a song to memorize it. I highly recommend making sure a piece is memorized at least a week to 2 weeks before you have to perform it. That way the song can really have time to marinate in the brain and to go from being stored in short-term memory into long-term memory. And then you'll be able to more reliably recall the song when it is time to sing it. Tip number 2, break the song up into sections and then memorize section by section. What I will commonly do is memorize the last section first. And I do this because oftentimes that is where the culmination of all of the emotion of the song might occur. Or what I might memorize first will be the section that has the most difficult vocal passages or might be the most difficult emotionally to sing. However you want to break up your song into sections is your choice, but if you break it up into those sections, it will help you memorize the song more quickly than if you just try to memorize it from front to back, singing it over and over and over again. All right, tip number 3. After you've split your song up into sections, then try using highlighters to highlight each one of those sections in your music. Now, I'll just tell you, make sure that you're maybe only highlighting a copy of your music, like what I have right here. Don't highlight in your book necessarily, especially if you don't own the book. But you can see how I have highlighted different sections of this music here. And that way, my brain will start to associate certain sections of the song with a certain color. Tip number 4 is use colored flashcards. So again, if you've split your song up to sections, you can put a section on a different colored note card. And again, your brain will start to associate that section of the song with a particular color. Tip number 5, practice a specific section of your song in a specific location. So you might want to practice one section of your song in your bedroom, and then maybe another section of your song out on the deck, and then maybe another section of your song out while you're walking. That's actually what's really great about putting lyrics on colored note cards, is that you can take these cards wherever you go, and then you can memorize a colored note card in a specific location, and then your brain will have all of these associations with that specific location and colored card. All right, tip number 6, the photographic memory. Now, okay, I do not have a photographic memory, but I find that when I study a piece of music for a certain length of time, my brain remembers what the music looks like on the page. And then when it comes time to recall that music and to sing it, I can actually see the page in my mind's eye. And I almost read the page in my mind's eye while I am singing it. So that might be a helpful tool for you to use. Now, if you are not a visual learner like I am, maybe more of an audio learner, which takes me to tip number 7. You can listen to recordings of your song and practice along with those recordings. Now, I say this with a caveat. I don't recommend listening to a singer other than yourself multiple times because you will start to maybe start singing like that other singer, and you really want to retain your own unique sound. So listen to some other singers' interpretations of your song, but when it comes time to memorize, what I would recommend is actually making a recording of yourself singing the song and then listen to that over and over again to help you with the memorization process. And then lastly, my 8th tip is to recite the lyrics apart from the pitches and the rhythms, and recite the lyrics with the same emotion that you would as if you were singing those lyrics. This is actually a really challenging thing to do, and if you can do this, then you really most likely have your song memorized. Now, if your song is in a foreign language, I recommend that you are able to do this both with the text in that foreign language and be able to do it with a translation of that text. So be able to memorize and recite both the text in the foreign language and in its translation. Now, I'm going to give you one extra tip that is not part of my 8 tips, but rather it's a friendly reminder of when it comes to practicing and memorization. If you happen to get sick where you cannot actually vocalize and sing, then you can do something called score study. And all that simply is having the music on your lap or on your desk and studying the music, singing it in your mind and memorizing it that way. See, you can memorize music without vocalizing. Sometimes my younger singers, they question their ability to do that. But once you get used to doing it, it's actually a really helpful tool, and it can help preserve your voice by not overusing your voice when you're trying to madly memorize many songs all at once. Well, thank you so much for joining me here at ASV today. If you found this video helpful, then check out some of the other videos here on my channel, and of course, subscribe to this channel. Until we meet again, happy singing.